Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liara, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today, we are playing Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. So, last time we played this, we finished up Case 2, The Walking Dead, where poor Wallace here was accused of having murdered Professor Bellwether. Well, he obviously didn't do it. In fact, it was the headmaster, but the headmaster appears to have been under control of some kind of demon. I don't know. Eris, not what she seems to be. And today we are going to start Case 3, The Origins of Horus. Now, is that going to be telling us about Tyrion's Eye of Horus power? Because there's been a lot of questions about that. So, without further ado, let's hop in and see if we can learn the mystery of the Eye of Horus. Alright. Let's see what we got. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things that I wanted to tell you. So many things that I wanted to show you. This is Frey Cuthbert? Is that his dad? But I'm afraid that I can't do that now. I need you to be strong. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Oh boy, Episode 3, The Origins of Horus. Alright. Preposterous. Completely and utterly preposterous. Alright, so whoever it is not happy. Is something wrong, Lord Von Sanctus? You filthy rat, you cheated, didn't you? That's right, you're just a cheat and a charlatan. Okay. So, you're a nobleman, alright? Do you have any evidence to prove that ridiculous claim? I mastered chess before you could crawl out of whatever rat hole you came from. Do you honestly expect anyone to believe that you could defeat me? Honestly, I'm just as disappointed as you are. I was expecting more of a challenge from House Von Sanctus. But I suppose all the gold in the world can't buy you a modicum of skill. Ouch. You little upstart. Ow! Ahem. Von Sanctus's acquaintance clears his throat and gestures subtly to the crowd of spectators. Yeah, I'm sure this is drawing quite the crowd. Everyone's attention is on him, and you can see the crowd muttering amongst themselves. His undignified behavior probably isn't doing any favors for his public image. Realizing himself, he tries to regain his composure. It looks like he's going to the toilet. It's preposterous. He walks away, muttering the word preposterous under his breath a few more times. It sounds like he's trying to reassure himself more than anyone else. I'm like, I don't think that word means what that word thinks, what you think that word means. So, that was something. Yeah, I knew that he'd get angry, but I didn't expect him to make a scene like that. Well, you did insult him. Not to say that he didn't deserve it. Come on, I love seeing these conceited nobles lose their minds when I beat them. It's half the fun of playing these tournaments. Wow, where's this confidence when we're in the courthouse? Court cases are different. I have to deal with real-world elements during a trial, and that includes Prosecutor Steelwind. Prosecutor Steelwind, huh? I wonder if she plays chess. Now there's a thought. I wonder if she'd be willing to play against you sometime. She can't be any worse than these pampered nobles. Anyways, we should celebrate somewhere in town. Even if he was a pushover, you just beat one of the top-ranked chess players in the kingdom. To be honest, you had your reservations about returning to the city of Arnax. If you weren't facing one of the four pillars, you would have never come back here. You'd rather leave this city as soon as possible. I saw a cafe while we were walking around. The food smelled great. I'd really like to go there. We could always go to one of the cafes in the capital. There are plenty of places to choose from there. Trust me, I've traveled around the world. There's nothing better than food from a thriving port city. Alright, I suppose there's no harm in staying a little longer. She does have a point. The city streets seem livelier than when you last saw them. You see a lot of businesses that weren't here before, and they all seem to be very well off. Despite being a port city, Aranex used to look like a ghost town. Has the local nobility been investing in the city? You find that possibility very hard to believe. Okay. You arrive at the cafe that Celeste told you about. As you enter, you're struck by a powerful aroma of freshly baked pastries and coffee. Looks nice and clean. The scent of baked goods swirls around you. You take a moment to inhale the enticing smells. You have to admit that it's making you very hungry. So, you seek to enter the domain of the Deathbringer songstress. Well, if glory is what you seek, then look no further. For you stand before Masurka Tudor, Dark Lord of Aranex. As you head further into that cafe, you're approached by a familiar face. Oh boy. Okay, so this is Masurka Tudor, merchant. Rika? Is that you? Ha! It appears that my reputation precedes me. How good of you to... Wait. You're... Tyrion? You're back? Oh, she's happy about that. Hi? Thanks for the follow, Evacthana. Welcome in. Alright, you. Why didn't you tell anyone you were back in town? Do you have any idea how worried we've all been? Do you two know each other? Right. Celeste, this is Masurka Tudor. I was friends with her when I lived here many years ago. Wait, you still live here? Yeah, Aranex is actually the town I grew up in. What? But you were in such a hurry to leave before. Uh-oh, that didn't make her happy. You came here to eat, right? If you're still hungry, I can bring you some of our best dishes on the house. No, I couldn't possibly. Come on, don't be like that. It's been years since I've seen you. And you know how good my food is. Okay, only for a little while. Alright, so Rika sets a table for the three of you and calls over a waiter. You all place your orders. Alright? Now, tell me everything. I want to know all about what you've been doing since you left. Okay, so let's talk. Celeste McCoy. So, are you going to introduce us? Alright. This is Celeste McCoy. She's my bodyguard. Bodyguard? And Celeste, this is... Ha! As if I need such introductions. I am Masurka Tudor, Dark Lord of Aranex, High Archmagi of the Cadmium Flames, and the proud proprietor of this cafe. Okay? I was friends with her when I used to live here. She's a little eccentric, but she's a good person at heart. Hey! She's also a common folk mage like you. Ah, so you came from the same humble beginnings that I do. Which spells have you mastered? I haven't really mastered any of them. I know about 7 spells, though. 7? That's almost 4 times the amount that I know. She's learned even more spells? She's been picking them up rather quickly. I've been usurped! Alright. Look at you, Mr. Big Shot. You're wearing a suit now. You even have a bodyguard. Did you get an office job in the big city? Something like that. Actually, a defense attorney now. A defense attorney? I see. Is that why you left town with that scary lady? Scary lady? Are you talking about Ruby? Miss Tamura adopted me when my mother passed several years ago. Okay, So she's not actually his mom, she's just the adopted mom. Okay. After that, she began training me to become an attorney like her. Wait. You've been studying to be an attorney since you were a kid? Well, I guess that explains why you're so young for a lawyer, said the 19-year-old mercenary. Yeah, I guess you got me there. Yeah, they're all really young. Are you the owner of this cafe, Rika? You always spoke about opening one when we were kids. Yep, and it's all thanks to the Dracogen Trading Company. The company's owner invested in my business idea after trying my food. Because of him, I was able to open up here, just like I've always dreamed. Dracogen Trading Company. I don't think I've heard of them. They're pretty small right now, and they're only operating in Arnex. But I hear they're planning to expand their operations throughout Wivengard. But I would have thought that Lord Von Sanctus would have weeded out any competition. After all, he owns one of the largest businesses in the kingdom. Lord Von Sanctus, isn't he that pompous noble that I beat in the chess tournament this morning? Wait, that was you? I didn't even know he was a businessman. Von Sanctus Industries invented those arcane constructs that we saw at the Imperial Academy. How do you not know about these things? You practically fight against nobles for a living. Maybe you should start reading more about national politics. Alright, let's find out about the city. Is it just me, or does the city look less depressing than before? Oh, right. You left the city before the new merchants appeared. New merchants? Like, from a merchant's guild? Yeah, the Dracogen Trading Company was one of the first ones. They started operating here and brought the Arcane Refinery a few years ago. After that, the merchants from all over Wivengard started coming here. Well, being based in a port city would definitely give them an edge. And their presence really helped the city's economy. They aren't owned by the nobility, and they pay their employees a lot more than Von Sanctus does. It's really improved the quality of life for the people here. I doubt Von Sanctus appreciates the competition, though. There's even more talk about forming employee-run unions. Oh, Von Sanctus definitely won't appreciate that. Alright, how about the chess tournament? So, you still play chess? Yeah, I'm nationally ranked too. I heard that an upstart commoner defeated Lord Von Sanctus at a tournament this morning, but I had no idea they were talking about you. Upstart commoner? The name suits you, Tyrion. Hey, do you still do that thing when you play? No. What thing? Nothing. She's not talking about anything. Wait, you're actually embarrassed about it? When we were kids, you did it even more than I did. What? What did he used to do? Why don't you show her, Tyrion? I'd rather not. Come on, show us, Tyrion. The thing. I think I'm a little too old for this. You're never too old to tap into your inner Chunny. Do it, Tyrion. Yeah, do it. The two of them begin chanting, trying to pressure you. It draws the attention of the other patrons in the cafe. They don't seem to care about the confused looks that they're getting. It seems that you don't have a choice. You take a deep breath. Those who stand in the shadows, those who fear the light of divinity. Your imperials will fall, your armies will perish. Kneel and cower before the divine gaze of the Eye of Horus. They're like, what? They're trying their hardest to contain their laughter. Well, that's why I don't do it anymore. No, that was great. That was really cool, Tyrion. Her poorly contained laughs are coming out between each word. Why are you laughing? You were just doing it a moment ago. Yeah, but she owns it. Ugh. He used to say something else before, too. I won't let anyone stand in my way, even if they're... A man, king, or god? Yeah, that's it. He still says that sometimes. Oh, looks like our order is here. A waiter brings in the lunch special for each of you. The enticing aroma of the meals makes you salivate a little. You gladly devour the meal. Rika's cooking is just as delicious as you remembered. You spend some more time catching up with her while you finish your meal. As your conversation continues, you and Celeste regale her with stories of your past court cases. No, really? Yep, it turned out that it was the headmaster the entire time. Wow, I would have never figured that out. How did you know, Tyrion? Maybe he saw it with his eye of Horus. You nearly choke on your drink before you realize what she's actually referring to. Wow, I can't believe it. I never thought court cases could be that dramatic. Alright, so the Eye of Horus started as like a joke at the beginning? I don't know. You finish your meal as you continue to tell Rika more about your cases. It's nice being able to talk with her again. You tried so hard to leave everything behind after what happened, but you're happy that she seems to be doing well. Alright, well, it's been nice catching up with you, Rika. But I think it's time for us to get going. What? But we just got here. Oh, we made her sad. It's okay. I'm sure you're pretty busy nowadays. I won't keep you any longer. But be sure to write, okay? Don't just go and disappear like last time. Yeah, I'll stay in touch. You'd better. Alright, now what do we got? You exit the cafe and make your way to the local Merchants Guild to rent a carriage. The city streets seem a bit more crowded than usual. It's a little difficult to make your way through them. Uh-oh, what's wrong, Celeste? Hey, Tyrion? Yeah? Celeste is fidgeting with her hands. She looks like she wants to say something, but every time she starts to speak, she quickly stops herself. This happens a few more times before she seems to give up. Never mind, it's nothing. Okay. You both continue to walk silently as you make your way to the Merchants Guild. Uh-oh, she suspects about the eye, doesn't she? As you make your way there, the streets become more and more crowded. You hope the traffic won't interfere with the ride home. Hi, could we rent a carriage for travel to Ratholm? Or Ratholm? Sorry, but travel outside of the city is temporarily closed. What? Why? Haven't you heard? The Knights of the King's Guard have locked down the city. They set up a blockade and everything. Check the city gates if you don't believe me. Uh-oh. The King's Guard? What's going on? As you arrive at the city gates, you see the blockade that the merchant was talking about. A crowd of disgruntled townsfolk are angrily shouting at the knights stationed there. This is outrageous! How long do you plan on keeping us here? Sorry, but we have our orders. We can't let anyone outside of the city until our investigation is complete. Oh, is there another murder? There's an investigation? Did something happen? Can you at least tell us what's going on? Why is the entire city being blockaded? Sorry, sir. We're not allowed to release that information. You'll just have to make other arrangements while we sort this out. Actually, I haven't seen you two around before. I'll need to take down your names and occupations for our records. What? Why? It's fine, Celeste. We're better off just cooperating with them. It's an invasion of privacy, but you'd rather not resist orders from the King's Guard. I'm Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm a defense attorney. Fine. I'm Celeste McCoy, bodyguard. Thanks. You look over to the other King's Guard. They seem to be taking notes of the people here, too. They must be making a list of everyone inside the city. Well, for what reason? Alright, so we have Arnex blockade. A blockade has been created around the city of Arnex. The blockade is preventing anyone from leaving or entering the city. The King's Guard have taken careful note of everyone that is currently contained within the blockade. I have an important engagement tomorrow. What am I supposed to do now? This can't possibly be legal. The townsfolk continue shouting at the knights, but it's clear they won't be budging anytime soon. Maybe we can figure out what's going on. Let's see. What do we do now? You notice it's starting to get late. I guess we're gonna have to find accommodations, right? We don't know how long the city will be blockaded. We should find a place to stay overnight, just in case. Alright, so where are we gonna head to? You walk into a nearby tavern and see it absolutely crowded with patrons. Looks like everyone else had the same idea. Hey, welcome to the Agwin Tavern. What can I do for you? Could we get 2 rooms for the night? Sorry, I can't even spare 1 room. We're completely full with the blockade and all. Wait, let me take care of this. Celeste takes out a large pouch of gold and plops it on the innkeeper's desk. Well, would you look at that? One of our rooms just opened up. Only one? Hey, the entire city's locked down. Even with your gold, that's the best I can do for you. What? Embarrassed to share a room with me, Tyrion? No, it's just... You realize that she's just teasing you like she usually does. Best not give it any mind. Well, it's better than nothing. Alright. So, how should we... Oh, I was just kidding before. You can have the bed. I'll just sleep on the floor. What? I can't just let you... Please, we may both be commoners, but you live a cushy life in the city. I'm a mercenary. I've lived on the road for years. I sleep like this all the time. She's got you there. Alright, but tell me if you change your mind. Yeah. Alright, so now we're getting ready for bed. Hey, I didn't see you there. I was just walked past him. What? So, what's going on? Hey, watch it! Quit shoving me! Wait, whoa! Uh-oh. Holy crap, pull me up! I can't hold on for much longer! You idiot, what are you doing? What? Grab his arm and pull him up! My hand! What are you doing? Your grip is too tight. Stop that. Wait, I can still... Uh-oh, poor refinery worker. No. What happened? I should have been able to... By the scaled lord, he fell in. No, I can use this. That's right. I can still make this look like it was all his fault. Okay, so we got a crime here. Okay. Find yourself falling into a nightmare. Tyrion, I'm so sorry. I can't believe they made you watch. Are you okay? Right, of course not. Did he watch? Are you going to keep fighting them? Your voice is quiet. Your question barely comes out as a whisper. What? Are you going to keep fighting the nobility? I don't know if I can anymore. Today they showed me what they're truly capable of. I was naive. I thought that the truth would prevail, but I'm only one person. I can't do this alone anymore. So you're just going to give up? You're the only one who will fight against them. If you're just going to give up, then... Was my mother's death truly pointless? I'm sorry. Teach me how to be like you. What? You said that you can't do this alone anymore, right? So teach me how to be a defense attorney. I can help you. We can fight them together. Tyrion, you're just a child. I can't just... Miss Demora, please. I don't have anything left. Please, just take me away from here. You clutch your hand tightly, feeling the fading warmth of the final message that your mother left for you. It's the last comforting memory you'll have of her. It's a memory that you'll never experience again. Mom. Uh-oh. Where are we now? You're startled awake. Okay, so we were dreaming. After some confusion, you realize that it was all a dream. You didn't have any trouble falling asleep, but your slumber was less than restful. It's been a while since you've remembered that day. That's all the more reason to leave this city as soon as possible. Celeste, are you up? Uh-huh. Celeste was wistfully staring out of the window, watching the rain. Her head whips towards you when she realizes that you're awake. Are you okay? What's wrong? Nothing. It's nothing. Wasn't awake, was he? Uh-oh. She's happy and scared. Was she watching us? I don't know what's going on. She doesn't seem keen on sharing. It'd be best not to pry. Anyways, do you know if the city is still under lockdown? I haven't checked yet. I was waiting for you to wake up. Alright, so I guess we're gonna go check now. You go outside and check the city gates. The blockade still hasn't disappeared. In fact, it looks like it's been fortified with even more knights. Looks like we can't leave yet. And they've even doubled down on the guards. What's going on here? Tyrion! You spot Rika in the distance as she calls out to you. As soon as she sees you, she breaks out in a full sprint towards you. She looks exhausted. Has she been looking for you in the rain? Tyrion, it's terrible! There was an accident at the Arcane Refinery last night. One of my friends who worked there, he fell into a vat of chemicals. He's dead. Oh, Rika, I'm so sorry. If there's anything I can do... Lord Van Sanctus is blaming the Dracogen Trading Company. He's trying to charge the owner with criminal negligence. As the lord of this region, Van Sanctus would have a lot of leverage in a legal battle like this. He must be using this accident as an opportunity to oust Dracogen from his territory. Tyrion, you're a lawyer, aren't you? Can you help them? I don't think I can. What? But... Rika, I specialize in homicide cases, and most of my clients are mages who have been charged with murder. I never even tried a case like this before. There isn't any magic involved, and there's no killer. Don't worry, I'm sure that the Dracogen Trading Company knows plenty of qualified attorneys who can help. I'm not so sure about that. Think about it. A lord from one of the Four Pillar families is pressing those charges. Do you honestly think anyone else will try to fight them on this? She has a point. There aren't many attorneys who will go against the nobility under any circumstances. The only ones who will do that are you and Miss Tamura. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Really? But please don't get your hopes up. I have very little information to work with right now. And to be perfectly honest, I'm really out of my element. And that's okay. I'm sure Mr. Dracogen will take any help he can get. Mr. Dracogen? He's the owner of the Dracogen Trading Company. He should be at the old Arcane Refinery right now. That must be the scene of the accident, too. It would probably be best to start your investigation there. I've been away from the shop too long, so I can't come with you. But drop by the cafe if there's anything I can do to help. Alright. So you follow Rika's directions and move through the city's industrial district. It reminds you of your childhood, back when you couldn't control the Eye of Horus. You always avoided this part of the city. It was always covered with an overwhelming fog of misery and fatigue. However, you feel less of that now. Is it because you have more control over your powers? Or has something else changed? Alright, we're here! You arrive at the refinery and see that there aren't many people around. The few people you do see appear to be from the City Watch. Operations must have been halted after the accident. Wow, so this is an arcane refinery. I always saw this place as a child, but I never really understood what they do here. Those machines refine the arcane crystals that are used in artificery. Those crystals are used as a power source for conducting magical energy. You look around and spot an especially frustrated individual. He seems to stand out from the knights and cleaning staff. We know you, don't we? Oh, no, he just looks familiar. Could he be the guildmaster Rika spoke of? Okay. So, yeah, he just is similar. Okay. He takes notice of you as you head further into the refinery. Hello there. You must be the attorney that Miss Tudor spoke about. I am. I take it you're the guildmaster of the Dracogen Trading Company? Yes. My name is Stefanik Dracogen. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Alright. So we have Stefanik Dracogen. I really appreciate you lending your aid in this matter. I already told Rika this, but I've never tried a civil case before. I would need to learn more about what happened before I can decide whether or not I can represent you. I'm honestly not sure how much help I can be. Well, there isn't a single attorney in Arnex that will represent me, so I'll accept whatever help I can get. Celeste was right. All of the attorneys are too afraid to stand against Lord Von Sanctus. Where should we start, though? This case is probably different from the homicides that we're used to. Homicide or not, the case revolves around a wrongful death. If I did represent Dracogen, I would need to prove that he wasn't at fault for the accident. To do that, we should start by finding out exactly how and why the accident occurred. We should also question the witnesses who saw the victim when it happened. And it wouldn't hurt to take a look at the scene of the accident either. The guildmaster would have a lot of knowledge about the refinery's operation. Questioning him might also give you some insight into what happened. Alright, so let's start there. To start, could you tell us exactly what happened? Well, it all began during the work rush yesterday evening. One of my employees fell from the walkway and into a vat of magical chemicals. Those chemicals contain extremely volatile and destructive evocation magic. Because of that, he unfortunately died before we could have pulled him out. I see. But that all just sounds like an unfortunate accident. Why is Lord Von Sanctus blaming you for what happened? There are guardrails on the walkways to prevent people from falling. Supposedly, those guardrails broke apart when that employee tried to lean against it. According to Von Sanctus, the accident was a direct result of my negligence to maintain the refinery. But my employees have taken great care to inspect and maintain the facilities. I have no idea how this happened. Is he telling the truth? This could all just be lip service. The only way to know for sure is to inspect the walkway yourself. Alright. Earlier, you said the victim was an employee of yours. Could you tell us more about them? Yes, I hired him just a few months ago. It's a shame what happened to him. He was a young man named Justin Way. Was he a good employee? He was a hard worker, but he was a bit rough around the edges when he first started. Before working for me, I heard that he'd always spent his time with the local delinquents. Miss Tudor practically begged me to hire him. She told me that she wanted to turn his life around. That does sound like something Rika would do. She always had a habit of getting involved in her friend's personal business. Alright, so we got Rika helped Justin. It's a clue. Musarika Tudor supposedly begged Stefanik Dracogen to hire Justin Wade. She wanted Justin to turn his life around. Supposedly, he used to spend a lot of time with some local delinquents, but he has turned his life around since then. When you live a life like Justin's, it helps when you have something to give you some structure and direction. So I decided to give the boy a chance by hiring him. He was clearly a hard worker. He did well to earn his keep. He always followed the rules too, so I had no idea why he was up in that walkway. Wait, he wasn't supposed to be on that walkway? Tell me about that. Earlier, you mentioned Justin wasn't supposed to be on the walkway. What did you mean by that? Well, Justin worked in an entirely different department. He was part of a team that managed packing and freight. He had no business being inside the refinery building, much less the upper walkway. That's strange, to say the least. Was he the type of person to wander around places that he's not supposed to? No. Like I said before, he always followed my rules. It all just makes this whole situation that much more confusing. Alright, so we have the clue for Justin's job. Justin Way was a star employee. He was always known to follow all of Stefanik Dracogen's rules and regulations. He worked in an entirely different department and wasn't supposed to be anywhere near the refinery walkway. Dracogen has no idea why he was in the refinery before the accident. Alright, was there anyone around when the accident occurred? Did anyone see Justin fall? There were many employees here at the time, but there were only a handful of witnesses who actually saw Justin fall from the walkway. Who were these witnesses? If I remember correctly, Miss Tudor was the one who saw him fall. Wait, Rika was there when it happened? Yes, she witnessed the accident alongside the harbor master. Morrison. Oh, you're acquainted with him? I am. Morrison was close friends with your mother when you were a child. But after you left Arnex, you went out of your way to cut contact with everyone from your past. But what were all of these people doing here in the first place? Rika is a cafe owner and Morrison is a harbor master. I'm a little concerned about that myself. I'm still unsure about Miss Tudor, but the harbor master was accompanied by a nobleman of some sort. A nobleman? I'm not privy to the specifics, but apparently that nobleman had the legal authority to go wherever he wanted to. You'll want to ask Morrison more about that. But it will be awkward to speak with him after all these years. Alright, so now let's investigate. Alright, so we got, these are the vats. It's a vat filled with chemicals that I can't quite identify. According to Celeste, these chemicals are used to refine and create arcane crystals. Alright. This is some kind of power box? It's a power box. It contains artificial hardware and an arcane power cell. It's connected to the chemical vat, so it must control some function of the refinery. Alright. The railing. Okay. These metal stairs lead up to the walkway above. You can get a better look at the walkway by moving there. Alright. Let's see. Alright. I think that's everything mundane. Let's detect magic. Alright. There are traces of transmutation magic on these parts of the vat. I'm honestly not quite sure how these vats even work. Perhaps transmutation magic is used in the refinement process somehow. Alright. There are traces of transmutation magic on this power box. It is an artificery device, so that's not too out of the ordinary. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and move to the walkway. Alright, what do we got here? Tyrion, do you need me to scan for magical traces? Well, there aren't any magical elements in this case, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to check. Alright. Alright, let's do the mundane first. It's a vat of dangerous magical chemicals. Supposedly, they're corrosive enough to dissolve anyone unfortunate enough to fall into it. Celeste is watching you carefully. She can be a little overprotective at times. Alright, what's up here? It looks like the guardrails completely broke apart. Yeah, they're like, there's no way it just fell. They look corroded. And the rails are completely rusted too. Was Dracogen lying about properly maintaining the site? I mean, at least at first glance it seems to, but let's detect magic.
Prepario Arcanum!
Uh-huh. Yeah, that doesn't seem legit. There are traces of evocation magic on these chemicals in the vats. That makes sense. Evocation is the school of magic for spells that create and disperse energy. These chemicals probably induce some sort of magical reaction to create arcane crystals. That may be normal, but this most definitely is not normal. What? What's wrong? There are traces of transmutation all over the guardrails. Transmutation? Do you see those traces anywhere else on the walkway? No, it's only this area. There are magical traces of transmutation on the guardrail that Justin supposedly broke before falling. These traces are only on the rails that Justin broke. They aren't anywhere else on the walkway. Transmutation is the school of magic that changes the properties of physical objects. Usually, mages use transmutation spells to strengthen and repair objects. So how did the transmutation spell affect the guardrail? Someone used a spell to change the physical properties of the guardrail. Judging by the current state of the rails, we can only conclude one thing. So, the spell weakened the structural integrity of the guardrails. Right. Someone used transmutation spell to weaken the guardrails. Afterwards, the guardrails were so weak that Justin accidentally broke them. And only these guardrails were weakened. The sabotage rails are right next to this vat of corrosive chemicals, too. What was the intention of weakening the guardrails? Well, that seems obvious. There was a clear intention behind the actions of this unknown mage. Judging by what happened, the intention can only be one thing. The unknown mage wanted someone to fall into the vat? I don't know that we could say they wanted Stefanik to fall. They wanted someone to fall. Whoever sabotaged the guardrail wanted someone to fall into the vat. Why else would they only target those specific guardrails? But why? Who would do this? You can feel your fist clenching tightly. Someone committed murder using magic here, and whoever did this had the gall to try to cover it up. Tyrion, you won't forgive whoever did this. When you're through with them, you will make them feel a fraction of the misery that your mother. Oh, look at the crazy graphics. He must be like going crazy Eye of Horus right now. Tyrion, what? Are you okay? Right, sorry. Anyways, if it weren't for your detect magic, everyone would have written this off as an accident. Magical traces are only detectable for 48 hours after a mage casts a spell. That means whoever cast the transmutation spell did so recently. Alright. So, there are magical traces of transmutation on the guardrail that Justin supposedly broke before falling. These traces are only on the rails that he broke. They aren't anywhere else on the walkway, so a mage must have sabotaged the guardrail within the last 48 hours. They clearly intended for someone to break the rail and fall into the vat. Alright, is there anything else to examine? I think we've done everything now. So let's go ahead and move back to the refinery and talk to the guildmaster. Alright. You should notify Dracogen about the traces of transmutation that you found, but perhaps you should wait until you obtain more information first. After all, knowing about a potential saboteur might unnecessarily stress him out, even more so if you don't have more information. Okay, so, alright, so then we don't have any information for him right now. Let's go ahead, where do we want to go? We should go talk to Rika, or Harbor. Let's go talk to Rika first, because that will be the less awkward conversation. You arrive at the cafe and see that the restaurant is packed with customers. You don't see Rika anywhere, though. She must be preoccupied. Perhaps you should check in when the restaurant is less busy. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, let's talk to Celeste. I still don't get it. A mage sabotaged the guardrails? It's as if they wanted someone to fall into that bath. Could this actually be a murder? It's hard to say for sure, but there's clearly more to this accident than meets the eye. But if it really was murder, what could possibly be the motive? Alright. Where should we go next? Supposedly, 3 people witnessed the accident. Morrison, which we gotta go to the harbor and talk to him. Rika, she's busy, and an unknown person. We have no way to know who that is. But we can go talk to Morrison. Morrison is the harbor master of the city, so we can probably find him there. Yeah, we'll definitely want to talk to him about what we saw. That is where we are going to go next. Because he was supposedly with this noble. Alright, you arrive at the harbor in search of Morrison, the harbor master. However, you notice a large concentration of knights in the shipping area. Notably, the Arcane Inquisition is among them. You spot Commander White and Prosecutor Steelwind coordinating the knights there. I wonder what those two are doing here. The knights at the blockade said that they were investigating something. There must be magic involved if the Inquisition is here. Do you think this has anything to do with what happened to Justin? I doubt it. We didn't see any Inquisition knights at the refinery. It must just be a coincidence. You're probably right. Or nobody has thought to check the refinery. But I'm kind of curious about what the Inquisition is investigating. It has nothing to do with our case. It'd be best to leave them to their business. Alright. Oi, you there. You best clear out. The knights have closed the harbor. Morrison? Huh? Do I know you? Wait, Cuthbert? Is that you? Boy, no one Morrison. Hi? I heard from little Mosarica that you were back in town. What can I do for you? We heard that you were at the refinery yesterday. From what we heard, you witnessed the accident. We wanted to ask you some questions about what you saw. Oh, right. Mosarica mentioned that you're an attorney now. What? I just hope you're still not hung up over that business with your mother. Sorry, I guess it's none of my business. Anyways, I'll tell you what I know. Alright, so what did you see? Dracogen told us that you witnessed the accident. Aye, it was a horrible thing what happened. No one deserved what happened to that poor lad. Could you tell us what you saw? Well, I was showing a patron around town, and for some reason, he really wanted to take a look at the refinery. Something about checking out the local artificery. He must mean artificery. Artificery. Anyways, he was looking at the machinery, and suddenly, Mosarica came running toward us. She was trying to tell us something, but the machines were too loud for us to hear her. After a while, she just pointed at the walkway, and we saw the horrible sight. We saw someone fall into the vat. By the time we could get them to stop the machines, it was too late. And that matches up with what you know so far, but what was Rika even doing there? She should have still been running the cafe at the time of the accident. And that patron who was visiting the factory, did they also witness the accident? Could you tell us how Justin fell off the walkway? Was it because the guardrail broke under his weight? Yeah, we did, but it was a little strange. That guardrail was made out of metal, yeah? The way it broke, you would have thought that it was made out of cardboard. He barely leaned on it and it just broke apart. Even a poorly maintained guardrail shouldn't have broken that easily. Did someone really use transportation magic to stop it? If so, that possibility could clear Dracogen's name. But presenting the possibility of a magical crime might just complicate things. Alright, who's your patron? You mentioned that you were escorting a patron when the accident happened. Who was he? Did he witness the accident too? Aye, he was right there with me when Rika was trying to get our attention. It'd be hard to miss it with the commotion she was making. As for who he was, he said his name was Aster. Aster. You don't know anyone by that name. But why does that name sound familiar? Do you know what his surname was? Nope. The lad was really secretive with his last name for some reason. He must have had a recognizable name. Is he a noble from a well-known house? Alright, so we got Morrison's testimony. On the night of the accident, Mosarika Tudor frantically approached Noah Morrison and a man named Aster. She tried to tell them something, however, they couldn't hear her over the noise produced by the refinery machines. They noticed that Mosarika was pointing at the walkway, so they looked there. There, they saw a figure lean on the guardrail and break it. The figure fell from the walkway into a vat of explosive chemicals. Alright. The blockade. Why were you escorting this Aster in the first place? Don't you have to manage the harbor? Well, I can't really manage anything because of them. He gestures toward the Inquisition Knights crowding the pier. They blocked all the sea travel out of the city till this mess is sorted out. They have a lot of knights investigating the harbor. Do you know what they're looking for? Well, you didn't hear this from me, but according to them, Aster's ship just up and vanished in the dead of the night. Vanished? As in someone hijacked it? That's the thing. The guards would have noticed if someone had driven off with the ship, especially one of that size. From what I heard, one of the guards could have sworn that they saw it vanish in a flash of light. A flash of light? Like something created by a spell? What kind of ship was it? Do you know how big it was? From the size of it, I'd say it was probably a galleon. A galleon? A spell of that scale would have to be pretty powerful to affect a ship of that size. Alright, tell me about Aster. Alright. I wonder who this Aster person is. He must be high profile if they're calling in the King's Guard and the Inquisition for him. All over a missing ship, too. You spent some time with him. Am I correct, Morrison? Did he tell you where he was staying? If I remember right, he's staying at the local inn near the town square. Wait, that's the tavern that we were staying at. If he's this high profile, why is he staying at an inn for commoners? No idea. He's an eccentric one for sure. Whoever he is, he also witnessed the accident. You'll definitely want to speak with him. Alright? And if he's a noble, there's a chance that he's the mage that sabotaged the guardrail. That's true. Alright, so, can we talk to you about anything else? No. Let's examine this scene, see if there's anything of interest. There are several crates containing all kinds of goods. They must be the merchandise of the local businesses. Alright. It's a modest ship. It's probably used by businesses to transport goods by sea, so the missing ship must be a lot bigger than that one. I can't help but feel nostalgic seeing these ships. I used to travel by sea all the time when I was traveling the world. It was probably my favorite part. That does sound pretty nice. I'd like to try riding one day. Are you sure? You get pretty motion sick pretty easily. Sailing on a ship might kill you. She has a point there. Alright. What's up here? A row of houses line the edge of the harbor. When I was a kid, I always dreamed of saving up enough gold to buy my own house on the harbor front. Well, you have a job as an attorney now. You can always move back here. No, if possible, I never want to return to this city again. Alright, probably because of what happened with his mom, whatever that was. That would be my guess. Alright, let's see why they're here.
Arcanum.
Do we have any magic? Doesn't look like it. Alright. So, let's see. Is there anything else? Let's see. What can you tell us about that? Okay, so he doesn't know anything about that. That's fine. Does he have anything? What does he have to say about Rika, maybe? Actually, I am curious. What is your opinion of Rika? Rika seems to be doing well. Her cafe looks pretty busy. I'm happy to see you kids are making something of yourselves. With the way people treat mages, I was really worried for her future. Okay, what do you think of us? I can still remember the days when you were just a small boy. You've really grown up since then. Aw. You had to. There was no other choice. Alright, what do you think about Miss Tamura then? Oh. He doesn't know anything about her. What about the harbor master? Not you. Not, Stefanik. Do you know, what can you tell us about him? The Dracogen Trading Company seems to have a large presence in Arnex now. Aye, old Dracogen just swooped in one day and took the city straight from Von Sanctus's grip. Now I can't think of a single business here that isn't working with them. You wonder how Lord Von Sanctus feels about that. I hope this whole mess doesn't affect the company's dealings here. He really breathes life into this town. What do you think of Lloyd Von Sanctus? How do you feel about him? Ha! You know the answer as well as I. I've got no love for that aristocrat. If we're lucky, old Dracogen will shoot down this civil suit and kick Von Sanctus to the curb. Alright, can you tell us about the blockade? Oh, he doesn't... You should know about the blockade. Isn't it affecting your harbor, sir? I disagree that you don't know about that. Alright. Let's go ahead and move. Where do we want to go? We want to go... I think we want to go back to the tavern. And see if we can find this noble. Alright, Morrison said that Aster is staying in one of the rooms at this tavern. So, but which room is it? We can always just check each room. That might irritate the patrons, though. And if Aster doesn't want to be found, we might alert him if we annoy too many people. I guess you're right. Your family owns a tavern, right? If you had to put a VIP somewhere, which room would you choose? I guess it would probably be the one at the end of the hallway. That's the one I use at my family's tavern. Alright. What do we have here? So is it just me, or does this hallway look similar to the one in your family's tavern? Well, most taverns use the same architecture, so I don't think it's that strange. Did we use the same artwork? No, but it looks exactly like the McCoy Tavern in Suncanny. Are we breaking the fourth wall right here? Is this like... Okay. It's as if whoever made this tavern just decided to reuse the same design. Hey, making unique designs is difficult, Tyrion, and it costs money. Do you really think developers should be spending resources on a location that you'll see only once? I don't know, it just seems kind of lazy. Well, if it bothers you so much, why don't you pay for the assets required to make a new one? You decide to drop the matter? That's hilarious. Alright, we have broken the fourth wall. According to Celeste's intuition, the innkeeper would probably have given Aster this room. You approach the door and firmly knock on it. Hello? Someone does come to the edge of the door, but they only open the door a fraction of the way. The crack in the door is less than an inch wide. You can't get a look at the person's face. I'm terribly sorry, but if your business isn't urgent, I'd like to be left alone. Sorry if I'm intruding, but are you Aster? My name is Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm the defense attorney of Stefanik Dracogen. From what I've heard, you witnessed the accident at the refinery yesterday? I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions about what you saw. Upon hearing your name, the man fully opens the door, and you're finally able to get a good look at him. He definitely stands out from the other patrons of the inn. He must be the wealthy patron that you're looking for. Tyrion Cuthbert, the protege of the infamous Ruby Tamura. So you know who I am? I do. I know you very well. What is that supposed to mean? I'm Your biggest fan. What? I can't believe it. The infamous Tyrion Cuthbert is standing right in front of my tavern room. What? I've read all about your feats, Mr. Cuthbert. You successfully indicted the head of House Pierce. You didn't think twice about confronting the inheritor of House Freyga. And you even defeated Lord Von Sanctus in the chess tournament yesterday. I'm so lost right now. And you must be Celeste McCoy, Tyrion's first client, and the Crimson Demon of the Eastern Kingdoms. How did you find out that name? The Crimson what? Don't ask. Anyways, if you are Aster, does that mean that you witnessed the accident with the Harbor Master yesterday? Yes, I did. Are you going to interrogate me about what I saw? I'll answer whatever questions you have. You've never met a witness that has been this eager to cooperate. Hopefully, this means that he won't hide any details about what he saw. Okay, so it's the door to Aster's room in the tavern. The innkeeper gave him the room at the end of the hallway, presumably to keep away prying eyes.
Repario Arcanum.
Alright, so we have nothing there. Okay, that was weird, like it didn't show up. Alright. I guess we were still stuck in the investigation area. That's fine. Aster. You clearly know who I am, but I'm still unsure of who you are, Aster. My apologies, but I would prefer to keep my full identity hidden for now. It's within his rights to do so, but you can't help but feel a little suspicious. In any case, what is your business in Arnax? I was accompanying a ship transporting goods to Lord Von Sanctus. The same ship that was magically stolen? I'm surprised you found out about that. Uh-oh, is he nervous about that? The Kingsguard have been trying their best to keep that information hidden. I suppose I shouldn't have expected anything less from you, Mr. Cuthbert. Flattery will get him nowhere. What was on that ship? It must be pretty valuable to be worth stealing. I doubt that there was anything on that ship worth drawing the ire of the entire kingdom. The truth is, during the time my ship was stolen, I was supposed to be on it. I see. The theft of the ship might have actually been an attempt to kidnap you, then. That's my current theory, anyway. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. He seems awfully calm about this. Alright, what about the accident? According to Morrison, you were also in the refinery that night. Did you witness the moment the victim fell into the vat? I did. Could you tell us exactly what you saw? Every detail you could remember could be important. Well, it all began when I was visiting the refinery with the harbor master. I was inspecting the refinery's machines when a girl frantically ran towards us. She was hysterical. It looked like she was trying to tell us something. We couldn't hear her over the noise of the machines. When she realized that we couldn't hear her, she simply pointed at the walkway. That's when we saw Justin Way fall off of it and into the vat. The next question is very important. Did you see the victim break the guardrail by leaning on it? Yes, he broke the guardrail before he fell. His testimony matches exactly with what Morrison saw. Alright, so we updated it. Both Noah and Esther's testimony match each other identically. The way he fell was very strange, though. Strange? What could he mean by that? The way he fell. Tell me about that. You mentioned that the way the victim fell was strange. Did you feel like the guardrail broke too easily? Why, yes. How did you know? It matches with the statement that the harbor master gave us. You don't want to reveal the traces of transmutation that you found on the walkway. At least not yet. But yes, the guardrail broke just the moment that Justin leaned on it. And his body was extremely limp when falling too. His body was limp? Normally, when falling from a great height, one would flail their arms, yes? But when I saw him falling, he wasn't moving at all. He wasn't moving? Did you see the expression on his face? He might have been unconscious. I'm afraid I couldn't see anything on his face. It was much too dark to make out his features. Wait, you didn't actually see his face? How did you know it was actually him that fell in? Well, who else could it have been? No one else has been reported missing. They also found the remnants of Justin's body in the vat. It was definitely him that fell in. That's true. You don't have much reason to believe that Justin might still be alive. Wait, but what if we witnessed earlier was actually him falling in, and then the staged falling in of the vat happened after? It was like a dummy or something. Makes me wonder, are you a mage? There were traces of transmutation magic at the crime scene, and it appears that Aster is quite a high-profile individual. He's probably a mage, and aside from Rika, he was probably the only other mage at the refinery that night. If you ask him outright, you might be able to see something incriminating through the Eye of Horus. Aster, we'll respect your privacy if you don't want to tell us who you are, but could you at least answer one question for me? I can make no promises, but I'll do my best to tell you what I can. Are you a mage? Oh, is that all? Yes, I am a mage, and I'm quite the practiced one at that. You see, Celeste cast Detect Magic to look at the scene of the accident, and we found traces of transmutation magic at the crime scene, namely on the guardrails that Justin fell through. What? Here it is. I can't believe it! What? Are you telling me that a mage used transmutation magic to weaken the rails? It's a conspiracy! Wait, does this mean this was actually a murder made to look like an accident? It's like something out of the reports I read about him. Oh, he's like fangirling so hard. You don't see anything incriminating, and you can see his thoughts clearly. His feelings of happiness are a bit off-putting, though. And you asked me if I was a mage. Does that mean that I'm a potential suspect? This is the greatest thing to ever happen to me. This is the first time you've met someone that's happy to be suspected of murder. Sorry, it's not right of me to get so excited about something this serious. He must think less of me now. But it's like something right out of a mystery novel. That's not the reaction you were expecting. Nevertheless, it doesn't look like there are any incriminating thoughts in his mind. And the emotion that he was emanating were all positive. There wasn't a drop of fear in there. What could this mean? Either way, it looks like you found out everything that you can from Aster. You should move somewhere else. Alright, so we're done there. Let's see. Let's see if Rika is free in the cafe now. Maybe she's done. Tyrion, you're back! Did you talk to Mr. Dracogen? I did. I'm still not sure what to make of him just yet, but after what I've seen today, I don't think I can turn a blind eye to what's happening. There were traces of transmutation magic on the guardrails. Regardless of their motives, someone sabotaged the rails with the intent of harming an employee at the refinery. If this truly was a murder, you'll have to find out who did this and why. I'll represent him in court for the criminal case. Thanks. Really means a lot to me. On that note, you were at the refinery when the accident occurred, am I correct? Yes, I was. May I ask you a few questions about what you saw that day? Of course. I'll do whatever I can to help. Alright, psychological profile? Uh-oh. Why were you there? By the way, why were you at the refinery that day? Didn't you have to work at the cafe? I was making a food delivery to Justin. Wait, you were delivering food to the victim? Yeah, he never had time to make his own dinner. So I always delivered his dinner during his evening break. But that night, I couldn't find him in the freight area, so I went looking for him in the refinery building. So the accident happened while you were delivering his food. Alright, so Masarika Tudor was delivering food to Justin Way during the time of the accident. Justin apparently never had time to make food for himself, so she delivered his dinner to him every day. Masarika didn't find Justin in the freight area that day, so she went looking for him and spotted him in the refinery building before he fell. All right. What about his behavior? Did you talk to Justin at all before the accident? I did. When I finally found him in the refinery building, he seemed busy. He told me to leave his food in the break room. He was busy, but according to Dracogen, he should have never been in the refinery building in the first place. Did he say what he's busy with? He said he had a meeting scheduled with Mr. Dracogen. That can't be true, though. Dracogen didn't mention anything about this. Unless... Alright. Masarika Tudor briefly interacted with Justin Way before the accident. Justin supposedly told her that he was on his way to a scheduled meeting with Stefanik Dracogen, but Dracogen never mentioned this meeting. Alright, what did you see? We've gotten a few witness accounts already, but I just wanted to double check. What did you see during the accident? Sorry, I'm sure that it was a disturbing sight. Do you need to take a moment? No, it's okay. It happened after Justin told me to leave his food in the break room. It was my first time inside the refinery, so I spent some time looking at all the machines. And that's when I suddenly heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw Justin fall from there. I tried to find someone to help him, but no one could hear me because of how loud the machines were. Before I finally got them to understand what happened, it was already too late. Did you see the guardrail break when Justin fell off the walkway? More specifically, did it break from Justin's weight? I'm honestly not sure. I was too busy trying to find help. Alright, so she says, on the night of the accident, Masarika Tudor saw Justin Way fall off the walkway. After seeing him fall, she tried to get the attention of Astor and Noah Morrison, but they couldn't understand her because of how loud the refinery machines were. Alright, so you have matching witness accounts from Astor and Morrison. They saw the guardrail break. Having Rika also confirm that would have been helpful, but she didn't. She said she saw him fall and then she went to get help. I feel like the timing is a little bit off on that. But you suppose Astor and Morrison's statements will have to suffice. Rika's account of what happened is a lot less detailed than Astor and Morrison's. But she did see Justin before the accident. Still, I have no idea why Justin was on that walkway in the first place. According to Rika, he said that he had a meeting scheduled with Dracogen. This doesn't match with what Dracogen told you. Either Justin or Dracogen must be lying in that case. You've met Dracogen already, and you still have no idea what kind of person Justin was. Perhaps Rika can tell you more. Alright. Could you tell us more about the victim? What kind of person was he? He was a good person. He fell in with a bad crowd a few years ago, but he was starting to turn his life around. I saw how much he was trying to change, so I asked Mr. Dracogen to give him a job. I really wanted to help him change his life for the better. But this job just ended up killing him. You can't blame yourself for this. No one could have known that this would happen. I guess you're right. It's hard not to think about, though. Was he the type of person to go places he wasn't supposed to be? Nope, not anymore. Not anymore. He really wanted to make a good impression on Mr. Dracogen. He always talked about following the rules. He even got mad at me a few times when I accidentally broke Dracogen's protocols. Right, that matches up with what Dracogen said. But maybe he was falling back into his old habits. Perhaps Rika can tell you more about what he was like before he turned his life around. Alright, you mentioned that Justin fell in with a bad crowd before. I've also heard that he used to hang out with a band of local delinquents. Could you tell us more about them? What? Rika, this information will help us with our investigation. I need to speak with the other people who knew him. Do you know where I could find his delinquent friends? I'm sorry. I really didn't know him that well. I should keep quiet. It might make him mad. Rika, are you hiding something from me? What? Of course not. What would the Dark Lord of Arnex possibly have to hide from you? Yeah, she's definitely hiding something. You'll need to argue against her if you want the truth. Alright, so we need to get some more information first. Will this help? Alright, so speaking about such things will be beneath me, so she has nothing to say about that. Let's see. What about Astor and Morrison's testimony? Anything to say about that? No. Okay. Nothing to say about that. Okay. Will she say anything about how Rika helped Justin? I'm terribly sorry for what happened to Justin. Are you doing okay? Yeah, it's difficult to think about sometimes. You always hear about these things happening, but you never expect them to happen to people you know. But have no fear. It will take more than this to bring down the High Archmagi. She's reverted back to her toony personality. Alright, so we're done with her psychological profile. Let's argue. Mossarika Tudor appears to be hiding something from you. She clearly knows about the bad crowd that Justin fell in with, but she's hiding who they are and where you can find them. You'll need to convince her to share that information with you. Alright, so let's go ahead and argue with her. Rika, you know about Justin's friends, don't you? Just be honest with me. I'm not hiding anything. I really don't know that much about him. I wasn't that close to Justin Way. I may have delivered his food, but he was just a customer to me. That's not true. Because, you begged Stefanik Dracogen to hire him. I might have believed that you delivered his food because he was a good customer, but that wasn't all you did for him. You saw that he was trying to turn his life around, and you begged Dracogen to set him up with a job. You wouldn't do that for a customer you barely knew. Well, that still proves nothing. I am Mossarika Tudor, High Archmage of the Cadmium Flame. Is it so hard to believe that I took pity on a stranger? I only helped him because I'm a generous person. It would only be right for me to equip a commoner with the means to change his life. Alright. Let's see. Her psychological profile. Mossarika Tudor will perform questionable acts to protect the people she cares about. She has your best interests at heart and will always act in a way she thinks is beneficial for your well-being. She isn't very good at deception. She will often revert to her dramatic chuny personality when trying to hide the truth from you. I only helped him because I'm a generous person. You are a generous person, Rika, and that type of generosity would make you privy to the details of Justin's life, maybe. You're not a very good liar, Rika. You would have risked a lot by asking Dracogen to hire a stranger. You said earlier that he was a good person. How could you possibly know that if you didn't know him well? She isn't very good at deception. What would be the best way to deal with this? Let's see. I think let's try agree. You are a generous person, Rika, and that type of generosity would make you privy to the details of Justin's life. I doubt that he'd continue to hide his past from you after you've done so much for him. You would have known who he associated with. Tyrion, not everyone wants to share their past with the people close to them. You should know that better than anyone. She's got you there. Alright, well, let's try rationalize. Well, no, it talks about inner psychological profile not being good at lying. You're not a good liar, Rika. You would have risked a lot by asking Dracogen to hire a stranger, especially a stranger with a dubious past like Justin. What if Justin fell back into his old ways? That would have surely brought about consequences on you and your business. You wouldn't take a risk like that unless you knew him well enough to trust him. Okay, fine. I guess we were friends, but like I said before, he was trying to leave his old life behind. He always kept his past a secret from me. He didn't like talking about the person he was back then. He wanted to forget about it, and I never brought it up. Alright, it's sort of true. We knew each other for years before he told me about it. Is she sad? Alright, use this claim that contradict a piece of evidence. Use this against claims that contradict thoughts seen through the eye. I doubt that, Rika. In fact, I'm sure that you were friends for at least a few years. With a friendship that old, I'm sure he would have confided in you about his past. What? No, you need to stay focused. Rika, do you know why you thought... I don't know why you thought you had to lie about this, but I need to talk to Justin's former friends. Is that really necessary? Yes, I need to know why he was behaving so strangely before the accident. His friends might know something about him that you and Dracogen don't. But that doesn't make any sense. There wasn't anything strange about the way he was acting. I think you're just overthinking this, Tyrion. But he was a rule follower. What did he say? Let's see. She didn't fight him in the freight area that day. Justin's job. He was a star employee. I think he has no idea why he was in the refinery. You didn't want to overplay your hand before, but it looks like you don't have a choice now. Rika, Justin told you he was heading to a scheduled meeting in Dracogen's office. But according to Dracogen, Justin wasn't even supposed to be in the refinery building yesterday. What? Rika, Justin might have lied to you. No, he would never do that. I need to know why he was up there. And so far, the statements I've gotten from you and Dracogen don't explain that. There we go. I need to talk to people who might know things about him that you don't. Yay, we won! Okay, I'll tell you where you can find them. Just promise me you'll be safe, okay? Alright, so we successfully persuaded Mosorika Tutor. Alright, so where are they? Sorry, I wasn't trying to lie to you. It's okay, I'm assuming you had your reasons. But I need to know where I can find Justin's old friends. You probably know already, but a few years ago, Justin got involved with a local street gang. They'd always hang around the beach area, but one day they discovered an abandoned house along the coastline, and they started spending most of their time there. A lone house on the coastline. It's that house, Tyrion. That's probably where you'll find Justin's old friends. So that's why you were being so secretive. What? I'm sorry. Don't be. You were just trying to look out for me, right? Are you going to be okay? I can go there with you if you'd like. No, it's okay. I'm sure you're busy with the cafe right now. And it's not as if I'll be going alone. Alright, just don't push yourself too hard, okay? Yeah. Celeste is very curious. Alright, I think that's everything. So, next time we'll be able to go to this abandoned house. But that is all that we are going to do in today's episode. Next time, we'll go visit that abandoned house and we'll see what Justin's old friends have to say about what possible things he may have been involved in. Was this a murder? Was it just a very unfortunate frame job of an accident? I mean, what's going on here exactly? It's probably a murder if we're being realistic, but we'll find out next time when we come back to Tyrion Cuthbert and we examine The Ruins. So if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Liara27. I post my schedule in the About section, and I post which games I will be playing each day on twitter.com/Liara27. And I hope that I will see you in the next one. Until then, guys, bye.